Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey, Keegan.
So, we're going to play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Of course.
Yay.
All three of us. And the reason is because Remind comes out later this month. And we just want some Kingdom Hearts 3 videos so that, like, when we do that and people watch those, we can get more views, I guess.
They won't be like, why did they start at Remind?
And then Will be a part of that, and he'll have some context.
Yeah.
So, Will, I'm going to hit new game, and then I'm going to choose difficulties and everything, and then you're going to tell us exactly how much experience you have with the Kingdom Hearts games.
Yes.
Are we going to carry this stuff over? No, let's just do a fresh play. We're going to play standard because we don't want 80,000 parts in critical mode, and this game is broken as fuck. Do you guys feel like this is a comfortable brightness level?
I'm pretty comfortable.
Okay. Let's get started. All right, well, while we watch this this video that we're going to try and talk over as much as possible so we don't get potentially copyright strike.
Oh, yes.
A, because I really like every Kingdom Hearts intro except for maybe Chain of Memories, and
Well, everybody hates Chain of Memories.
that's true.
Yeah.
Have you played Chain of Memories?
No, I have not. So this is actually upsetting because I've never seen this intro, and all their intros were always beautiful.
Uh-huh.
But my entire experience with the game is that I've played maybe 40% through Kingdom Hearts 1, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm like 10, so I'm not going to make it any further than this.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'm sure you all are seeing this in beautiful HD. This is what Disney, being a super good company,
all
doesn't
about.
want you all to watch.
Pay no attention.
Yay, I get to have fun, but they don't.
Yeah.
No, you're part of this
So
channel
this is
too,
really the
sir.
part that we have to talk over just because Disney is going to
Disney.
pretend that they're going to sue us or some shit like that.
Yep.
Mostly because even though this game's not going to make us any money anyway.
They'll try and take it
Holy
from us.
shit.
They can take your heart.
Yeah.
I turned this down
Yeah.
so much.
It's probably not all that loud to them, but it's loud to us.
But if
It's
it's
just
your
like
fate,
compared to what happened
Every
last time.
step
Poor
forward
audio mixing in this game.
will always be a step
Yeah, they're just
So-
all over the place.
The benefit I'll give this game is that I think it's also, this is like maybe the best Kingdom Hearts intro song.
Yeah,
I
really
will stand
liked-
by that.
I really like 2. 2 is good.
I like Sanctuary, but I like post-battle Sanctuary.
That's true.
But I think Face My Fears is like the best.
Yeah, it's got Skrillex.
Yeah. So this is Terra, Aqua, and Ventus.
Yes.
So this is recounting the games of Birth by Sleep.
So this will give you a very,
Yeah.
very short summary of what happened up till
Yes.
now.
They are very important. And probably before we get to the Aqua part, we'll have you play 2.H Final Chapter Prologue or something, even if it's not on screen. So like you'll feel like you actually care about Aqua.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So that was Ventus.
He got fucked.
Yeah. Some shit happened.
Well, I mean, they all really
Hey, I know
got
that place.
They
I
all,
know that place.
Yeah.
they all
Destiny
really
Island.
just got fucked in that game.
Hopefully you know who these three characters are.
Yay!
Okay, good. So you got a little bit more on...
Guys,
Yeah.
I'm like 0.5% in at least.
Yeah. So that was
This is intense.
Ansem.
That's the big bad of the first
That
game.
is Xehanort's Heartless. Well, technically it's not Xehanort's Heartless, it's Terra Xehanort's Heartless.
Xehanort.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but just watching this intro makes me want to play all the games.
Well, that's
That's
in
good.
our-
Awesome.
It's on the list of stuff to do.
Yeah. Yeah. This
just-
intro is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I just have to catch up
So
on
then
So
literally
that's
everything.
Roxas.
That's Roxas.
Okay.
That's Axel and Shion.
And Shion. So Roxas and Shion are both, are technically both Sora's nobodies.
In a way, yeah.
Shion is, so,
Everybody forgot
yeah.
Shion.
So Shion is, actually technically Shion is Kairi and Sora's nobody,
Yeah.
like combined, whereas
Oh.
Roxas is Sora and Ventus's nobody.
Yeah.
Weird.
And that's why
So
he
how
can
did
use
that
two
happen?
Keyblades.
Yeah.
Oh, fancy.
So it happens at the end of the first game,
Yeah.
and
How he became a nobody.
is that basically to save Kairi because Kairi puts herself in Sora's heart.
Thanks to
He
Aqua's spell.
uses his Keyblade to remove his own heart to restore Kairi's,
And
and
because
doing
of
so
that-
turns him into a Heartless and unleashes both Kairi's nobody, which shouldn't exist,
Which is like an actual nobody.
which is why both of Kairi's nobodies are very weird.
Yeah.
So Shion is an artificial nobody, which is why she's weird. But Kairi and Sora have two nobodies,
So because we
Namine and Roxas.
Yeah.
That's why Roxas' name is Roxas. It's because it's an anagram of Sora with an
my
X in it.
gosh.
See, all of the nobodies have an anagram of their name with an X.
With an X in it.
So because we can't play...
But like a lot of them don't a lot of them, they didn't think of their name before they became nobodies, so
They're
they
like,
have really
well, fuck.
stupid
They're like,
names.
shit, we have to make something out of this
I don't know,
now.
some of them are bad, like Lee.
We're following the system.
The only problem with Lee is that his name is spelled weird, but
Yeah.
like Braig
Yeah.
Braig is stupid.
You'll meet him later.
Alias or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Evan works.
Evan. Lexaeus was.
So
Alias, right?
this is the end of Dream Drop Distance, basically, and also kind of like the foretelling of this game. This game is really awesome, except for the ending of it, except for the very end of it.
Which is why Reminds come out.
if that makes sense. Like, this game is really good if you've played all the other games. I'm really excited because I get to see your perspective as somebody who's never played the other games.
This is gonna be wonderful.
Because you're gonna be
Of
fucking confused.
Of like trying to figure out what's happening. What's your favorite Keyblade?
Me?
Yeah, I know which one is objectively the best one to use in harder difficulties.
In this game or in general?
Let's say in this game and then in general.
In this game,
Because in this game, my favorite Keyblade is the Lucky Deputy, just because it has Lucky Lucky, or Lucky Strike, I guess, in this game.
I'd say either, I forget its name, but the...
Which will probably get the Lucky Ring like the first time we get to Twilight Town, because I know how to abuse that mechanic.
Yeah.
We'll get the Lucky Blade and the Orichalcum. We probably won't do it on screen. We may just cut it out and be like, hey, we have these now, because...
Congrats.
I don't know why I'm blanking on the name, but the Pirates of the Caribbean one.
Oh, what is that? Is that the High Wind or something like that?
Something
no,
like that.
No, not High Wind. It's like a...
Highwind's from the second game.
High Wind's the name of the ship.
No, it's not. That's the Leviathan.
No, High Wind's the name of the gummy ship.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant...
What's its name? I forget its name too,
But you
but I
know
know what you're talking about.
yeah.
The spear one.
Yeah.
In this game.
Because that, like, once it gets to its later forms, which we'll pay no attention because you'll find out later.
Yeah, no, I'm just
Enjoying.
spacing here.
Yeah, because in its later forms in battle, it's really good.
Yeah. The other reason we're going to cut out the gummy stuff is, like, we have to do that grind just so we get a lot of Damascus and stuff so we can upgrade the Keyblades, which the game never explains. That's where you can get them from naturally. Never explains it. Never says, oh, by the way, if you need more of this, go shoot up asteroids.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I'd say in general,
I don't need tutorials.
No, you need to learn to play.
Watch me
you
get
need to
bodied.
relearn. I'd say
Wait,
probably
just go
Leonhardt. That one I always liked.
Lionheart?
Is it Lionheart? I thought it was
Yeah,
Leonhardt.
it's Lionheart.
Oh.
Leon's name is French for lion, so I mean
Yeah.
that's already the
You
joke.
get what you get.
My favorite Keyblade in general.
Oh,
Man, that's really hard, especially in the middle of a boss fight.
For some context, Keegan is the one playing right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we actually said that.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you guys could probably tell because it's trash.
No, if we wanted really bad, we'd give Will the controls.
Yep. I can guarantee
I'm just
on
tanking this because I can in normal mode.
Yeah.
So, like, in critical mode, hitting those one time kills you.
Even in Proud, it takes like 3 of them, but
Yeah.
it's still bad.
Yeah. And it's like, because you forget you have things like dodge roll and guard immediately in this game because you earn them in all the rest.
Yeah. And they're like,
This boss is significantly harder. You've seen Kingdom Hearts 1 version of this boss, right?
Yeah.
The totally dark one? Yeah, he's basically the same.
Just water.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Because we are in a
little
special
smaller, too.
world that I won't reveal.
Has like no context for the most part.
Yeah, it's just like it
We're
shows
just
up.
chilling in limbo.
So like this part here, if you forget that you have guard, it becomes super hard.
You know that
There we go.
the guard was so useful in 358
Yeah.
with this boss.
Oh yeah.
Is this a common boss?
It's so 358 is a spin-off game, so they basically were just reusing assets for the most part.
They came up with a few new
Just like
ones.
Chain of Memories, they were mostly just reusing assets. Though the original Chain of Memories actually, I guess, wasn't, but the remake was. It was just like they reused assets from Final Mix, I think.
So yeah, the original Chain of Memories was on Game
I really
Boy.
don't care about my XP. So you see how we're like just flying, basically?
Yeah.
That's why critical mode sucks. Is because
You can't
it's
stop
very
yourself.
floaty and it has no like. There's
Oh,
no
you-
really a good way to cancel attacks.
I'm good, man.
And because there's no good way to cancel attacks, it's very easy to get hit. And because you can get hit once and die, the advantage is that like the Kupo coin actually has like
So much
useful
use.
utility. Whereas here, I'll buy it one time and we'll probably never use it again. So this has this guy in front of us. He has the very inventive name of Yinsid.
Can you guess what that is?
Yensid? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yes, it's Disney backwards. with a space in the middle, so
They're
it sounds
really
like a name.
trying on this.
Yeah.
Well, he came out with Fantasia,
So we will rewatch this scene eventually. This is actually from the end of the final chapter prologue.
Yep.
The final chapter prologue is actually really sad if you've played
It's
Birth by
so
Sleep.
fucking sad.
Birth by Sleep, of the spin-off games, Birth by Sleep is the best one, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. It is
Followed by 358.
followed by 358.
And then we don't talk about the other ones.
So I have mixed feelings on what the best Kingdom Hearts game is, because 2 will always have, until 3 came out, 2 was objectively the best one, just like objectively. But 3 has so much going for it that's like actually really good and really fun, but its story isn't as good, and and it's like 2 kind of has the same problem where like basically like you have a bunch of really really up story stuff in the beginning and then a bunch of really up story stuff at the end.
They're just kind of a grind through the middle.
Yeah. The problem with this game is that like there's constant 10-minute cutscenes that pop up in between worlds and it gets super annoying. We'll probably cut most of those out, but we're going to have them in for Will's benefit, basically.
Yay. Yeah, that's why I'm being quiet. I'm just sitting here and watching everything because, like, I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, Will's not paying attention to any of our conversations.
No.
Well, yeah.
I'm enjoying the cutscenes.
I figured Will can basically ask us questions as the game goes on, and
we can may or may not answer them correctly.
Yeah.
Will doesn't usually talk anyways, let's be honest.
So here's the
That's true.
continuation.
What you
I'm
guys
just
don't
here.
know is that Will is actually in every video.
He's
I
just
only
so
talk in about
quiet.
20% of them.
He's just so quiet.
Yeah, and we don't introduce him because he's feeling especially shy those days.
Yeah.
The problem with Birth by Sleep is that Birth by Sleep, because it was built for the PSP, like its control scheme is totally different than all of the rest of the games.
I don't know. I really liked. That's like I'd say that's probably my favorite game, like playing wise and story wise.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, I just always liked it more. 2 is like right next to it, but
I think 2's combat is maybe the best, other than this game. But that's only because 2 has so many options, and it's a lot more responsive. Whereas this game has its own advantage. Like that floating combat system also makes you feel really powerful.
yeah.
Whereas like in 2, you feel like you feel like you're actually like really skilled because like you're able
You're
to stay in
doing
the
all
air.
of these things.
You have to attack in your
Yeah,
bursts.
you do end up with a lot more. They took mechanics from both 2 and Birth by Sleep for the combat in this game, and I think it works really well. Where you do have a lot of options, but you have less options in the sense of in 2 you have so many transformations and you have so many summons. The summons in this game suck.
The only one I
I
really like
don't
is,
use any of them.
I use one, and that's it.
The only one I use is the one that they explain how to use the summon.
Oh,
Literally, when you first land in Twilight Town, you're going to see me use that summon, and that's the only summon I'll use for the rest of the game until Daniel takes over at some point.
which the only one I'll use will be the fire one.
Oh, yeah.
No
I just want to see
spoiler.
Donald's hat unzip.
Yeah, it's
It's a
I
zipper
feel
the
that
entire way
I feel
around.
that too. I feel that energy too, where I'm like I really want to know why would you have a zipper on a hat?
What's under there?
It's like
I
the,
don't think
Does
we
it
can't
turn
go
into
that
a
way yet.
scarf?
It's like the mouth thing for pencils.
Oh, I should
it's like
probably-
that.
Oh, yes.
Go through
We're
all
not going
that.
to turn on 0 XP, though I could do that to really screw Daniel over.
Well, I mean, it'd screw you over too.
Okay. I don't know where I got our writing. I guess from early on.
Yeah, you hit one of those shadows and you got it.
Which one do I want? Where? I guess I'll do it this way. Daniel's going to get really upset with me probably because I don't set up magic the way he does.
Well, I'm gonna really change it. So.
Yeah, but like, we're both going to have this moment of like, oh, why would you put that spell there? That's gross. Other than Cure is probably going to be on X.
Yeah. I don't know. I usually set it for I think square because it's like I know X is the attack button, so I can be like, hey, I'm
Oh,
doing
you don't
something
set Cure to X?
No.
Oh, God, I'm already regretting watching you play this game. Yeah. I'm just going to put this out. James Woods fucking kills it in this game.
Oh my god.
Versus a lot of the
Fucking
games, he
love
just kind of is like phoning it in. In this game, he is very clearly very well motivated
it. Yeah.
to play Hades again. I think it's 2 where like you could very tell that like he's just in it for the paycheck.
There's a few things I liked it too, like when he like puts his fingers to his ears, like what? Did you say something?
Yeah. But like a lot of his dialogue, maybe it's 1 where like a lot of his dialogue is just really low energy and low key. In this game, he goes
all out.
Yeah, I almost don't want to talk over him just because he's so good. But at the same time, I'm like, at that point, we're just watching a cutscene, and I'm gonna have to cut it because it's boring.
But it's
Yeah.
So, is the whole plot that he just attacks at the beginning of every single game?
Hades and Olympus, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, no, not in 2.
It's you kind of like invade his realm.
Yeah.
Sort
Oh,
of.
nice. Somebody's always fucking with Hades.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he kind of uses.
So
you being
unlike
there
1
to
and
the
2,
situation.
where 1 and 2 had a lot of text box cutscenes, where like if somebody's just having an expository conversation, it's just a text box cutscene. Every conversation in this game is
It's turned into a cutscene.
voice.
a cutscene, which is nice because you can just skip them all once you know what you're doing. In one world in particular, that actually is to its benefit, and that like. It's my favorite world, and I'll get to it because I'm like when we play that world, I'm gonna probably keep it all in because it's gonna be an entire dissertation about why it's objectively the best Kingdom Hearts world. Phil does not speak in this game.
Aww.
He shows up, and I think at
Gives
the
you a
end of this
thumbs up.
cutscene, like they're like, "Bye, Phil," and Phil's like, "Hey, guy," and he just like waves, and you're like, "Why is he in here?" It's because the Japanese voice actor for Phil died. Like I think right as this game went in, like right as they were like doing voice acting lines, so they kept the character in as like an honor to him. But because he was dead, they didn't want to give him voice speaking lines. So even though Danny DeVito is alive and very well,
Danny DeVito.
Phil has no speaking lines.
Nope.
That's so
But he's
sad.
in the game kind of as like just like a memorial to the voice actor who played
I'm pretty
Phil.
sure it gives you a thumbs up and
Yeah.
gets out.
Right here. Why? So he's like, yeah, and he like takes like he does like to me, I probably still would have given Danny DeVito the speaking lines and just had him been like, okay,
Danny DeVito. You
At
just
least,
have to
like-
I
learn
need you
a
to come in and
Japanese
just give
line.
like 4, just do
You
4
can
lines.
just phone it onto us.
Which I guess is why they didn't do it because they were like, we don't want to pay Danny DeVito.
What,
So, yeah.
what outfit of Sora's did you like the most?
Probably this game, which may contribute to my like. But I also say that with like a 2020 now. 2020.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year
Yay.
for everybody who's in 2020, which is everybody.
Everybody
Hey,
If
they
you're
could
not
be
in
in
2020 yet,
2021. There's some situation going on in your
yeah.
life.
I hate to tell you this, but you're like stuck in a time loop or something.
I don't celebrate New Year's,
Yeah.
so I'm still stuck in.
I guess you could be on the Chinese New Year,
Yeah.
but whatever. By the time you see
Chinese
this,
New Year, Will?
No. No.
so to finish my thought, I have that kind of like that style and like that sensibility. So if you had asked me 6 years ago which one I preferred or something, if I saw like the Kingdom Hearts 3 outfit, I might have said a different one. But with a modern day sensibility for fashion, I really like Sora's plaid outfit. I was gonna say something that was really mean, and I'm not gonna make that joke just because I'm gonna have to cut it later.
I feel like I know which one you're talking about. I know what I mean, like the joke you're talking about.
Let's say a less mean joke. Sora's "I live in Portland" outfit.
Like, oh, she's like, someone help. Where's Hercules?
Yeah, and then like we show up and she's like, "You're not Hercules. You guys suck."
Hang on up there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's.
she's a choosing
Oh
beggar.
my god.
She's like, what the hell they sent you?
I don't have his poster on my wall. I don't know him.
Yeah,
You're not famous.
I
Like,
was
I
gonna
mean-
make a masturbation joke, but I thought better of it. I should because it'd be funny, but also like, I don't know. Saying sexual jokes while playing Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of feels wrong.
You know what I didn't understand?
Like not like morally, just like it.
This isn't. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it just like doesn't fit thematically.
Not the game.
Like Sora is completely asexual.
Yeah.
Other
he's-
than in this game, I guess he actually like.
likes.
I guess
Kyrie.
I mean, it's not like. It's not like he like makes the move. He puts the moves on somebody or something, but like. He at least like you get the sense that like he's into chicks. Which I guess is kind of the case. Like in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, it's more like, oh, he's like vaguely. Roxas is more of a sexual being than Sora.
Yeah. All of his sexualness has been drained out of him.
Yeah. Sora is very like, I don't.
Is it that obvious?
Very not. it's hard to explain. He's very asexual, and to like a bad degree. I could go on a dissertation about like how Sora is represented and why I think that's a bad thing.
So
but
question: how old is he supposed to be in
I think
this?
he's supposed to be 17 or 18.
17 or 18.
Oh, okay.
But like, so the first game he's like maybe 11, I think.
He's supposed to be 14.
You're
14.
checking his Achilles heel.
But he doesn't
Yeah.
look like it. That is Achilles.
Yeah. So they're supposed to be like young teenagers, so it kind of makes sense that like his crush on Kyrie is like
Awkward.
kind of a real. It's like it's weird that it's still kind of in an innocent way. I don't know how else to explain it, but
What are
in
those
this
things
game
on
in
the
this game
ground?
he
Oh, you're just picking
Yeah.
plants.
That's food materials.
like at least the way like he likes Kyrie is like in a kind of a bit of a serious, mature way. I don't know how else to explain it,
He's just
Oh my-
very.
but it's like he's not like just like, oh, I like a girl, you know what I mean? He's like, oh, I have like
I have
Actual
deep feelings
feeling.
and actually care for this person.
yeah like.
I have
like-
strong feelings.
Like
for
it's not
you.
like a crush, but it's like it's something that I actually want to act upon and do act upon. Spoilers, I guess. Not like in like super like hardcore. Like this game doesn't become like a hardcore porno game or anything, or even like have the implication that he and
Surprise.
Kyrie do anything vaguely sexual.
That was
but,
the secret final cutscene.
yeah, the secret final cutscene is just like hardcore pornography. It turns into an ecchi game.
I'm glad those guys were all just hanging over
Yeah.
there haggling her.
Yeah, they're
And
like,
a child. Like, hey,
yeah.
what you doing?
They weren't even like attacking. They're just
No, they're
being
just
like
chilling and being
annoying.
They're-
creepy.
Yeah. I wanted I'm like they're trying to be like pervy creepers and they're like you look real pretty, lady. And
Oh shit! They finally cornered her.
she's like, oh my god, and they're like saying "miladies" and stuff.
Just all
They're being like
neckbeards.
total neckbeards. And she's like, oh my god, I don't want to have sex with you. And they're like, you're a total bitch and a slut.
How could you lead me on like
Which is
that?
totally like counterproductive because like I don't know. I really like the idea that like neckbeards call women sluts when like they don't want to sleep with them, which is like the exact opposite of what like theoretically a slut would be. Like you don't want to have sex with me, so you're a total slut. It's like that
Not
seems
right.
backwards to me. It seems like they have standards or something, or at least by like their own definition of what those terms mean, I guess. Not that I'm saying that like women who like to have sex are sluts. I want to point that out. I don't think that.
We're not demeaning anybody in any way during this video.
Yeah.
We'll put a
I
disclaimer.
don't think that. I'm just saying in their own lexicon, that's what that means.
We'll put a disclaimer at the beginning. Just like none of them.
Like
feel
women
the
as
same.
sexual beings is not like inherently a bad thing or undesirable, I guess. Like I don't agree with that assessment of theirs. I just find it funny that that's like their
Yeah.
go-to to a woman who turns them down.
Unless it's a reverse Romanian milk and
Oh yeah, whatever that is.
We don't know what that is still.
I want to find out if anybody has any ideas.
Besides what we know from Monster Prom.
Oh, by the way, go check out Monster Prom.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's such a funny.
It's such a great video.
I had a
Will
very
goes
fun
crazy.
time.
Will,
If we ever play it again, Will definitely has to be there so he can be Polly.
Oh yeah. I'll be any female voice there. Let's go.
Okay. Luckily for us, this game is fully voice acted. So
Yeah.
No, this is easy.
Unlike
Yeah.
every other game of Kingdom Hearts, where it's not.
Yeah,
Oh,
your
yeah.
voice is gonna be okay.
I don't know who would do Donald in the other games.
That's not Donald.
That's Goofy, by the way.
That's
Oh,
not
sorry. I
Donald.
thought you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just ignore me.
Donald is a duck, sir.
What? Donald doesn't hit?
I
No.
forget what's in that one, in that chest, but I don't think it matters.
That middle one?
Black
or-
truffle. Cloves.
Clothes.
Cloves.
So I believe
Cloves.
There's an emblem there.
there's an emblem back here, but we can't get it because we don't have the phone yet. I know where pretty much all the emblems, at least in the early worlds, are. I'm probably can do most of the other ones, except for maybe Pirates of the Caribbean. 'Cause
I
they're
think
really
I
spread
know
out.
most of them.
I think I know where most of them are. Other than Pirates of the Caribbean and San Francisco.
Oh, I have no fucking clue. It's San Francisco.
I know where Big Hero 6.
Oh,
The
that's
world's actually really disappointing.
Yeah.
So don't build it up in your mind.
whack.
I mean, like, the world itself is really cool,
Yeah.
but, like, the actual, like, interaction
happens there?
in the world is, like, really stupid and boring. Versus all the rest of them, which are pretty cool. Pirates is really interesting.
I really
And that, like,
like
it's basically a completely different game.
Yeah.
Is, like, the best way to explain it. Like, Pirates is its own open world.
Yeah. And like,
Like, its own open world game. It's crazy.
Oh, nice.
And I think I know where most of the emblems are in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay,
'cause
that's good because I don't.
That's where I mainly hang out when I'm not like, doing things. Because I'm just like, I just want to play around and just fire cannons and shit.
Like Pirates is like a mini Assassin's Creed 4.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's so weird.
Hercules.
It's like a tech demo for another game they want to make.
I think the Zaldin fight too is one of my favorite fights.
Oh yeah, Zaldin. It's one of my favorite, but it's also one of the most infuriating.
It is. Yeah.
When you play critical mode,
Especially
the way I like to think about it is that Alden and then the Roxas fight are basically the two for like beating the game. The Zaldin fight is your first big obstacle, and then Roxas.
And then I really liked Luke Sword as a character and like the concept of him, but I didn't like how they went about the fight.
Oh yeah, where his fight is like really weird.
It's timed and like.
We're gonna
so
put
Luke
auto
Sword.
finish on.
Luke Sword will meet later in this. His element is time. So he like has like slow down and like speed up with attack stuffs.
Yeah.
But his weapon is cards, so he's a gambler.
Yeah.
So it's really weird how they went about it in 2, where he throws a bunch of cards on the ground and you have to like hit him to take down time.
I didn't really think of it as like his element's time. I like to think of it more as like his element's chance, if that makes sense.
I can see it. But like in 358 they're like his thing is time.
Oh, that's right, 358.
So
I really don't remember much of 358 to be honest. I remember the Shion Axel stuff.
Yeah, I really liked it, but it was just also really weird because
Thanks
it
for
was a DS game.
There we go.
So this is a new thing for this game.
And luckily, for some reason, I got the level up, so I have auto finish now.
Yeah.
Oh, you're one of those ship rides.
Yeah. So these are called attraction commands, and so classic Disney Carnival rides we can now use.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So there's this, there's the teacups.
There's the teacups.
There's the shooting thing, I forget what his name is.
The blaster.
And then there's, for special bosses,
there's an entire 2 times you use a train ride.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's also the carousel.
Carousel, yeah, which...
And the Splash Mountain ride.
Splash Mountain ride, yeah.
So how would you guys feel if in the next Kingdom Hearts game they put Star Wars characters in it?
I would be all for it, but it has to be used in the right way.
I mean,
and then I would be all for a Star Wars world as long as it's like A New Hope. You know what I mean? I won't talk about my feelings of the sequels or the prequels.
I mean, A New Hope isn't really Disney's work though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not against it.
If they wanted me to play The Force Awakens, I'd probably be really against that. Even though, we won't get into my feelings on the sequels. There's a lot of... Every sequel film has a problem with it that I really don't like.
That's fair.
Yeah, I just realized you have so much health compared to critical mode.
Oh, yeah, no. Critical mode, they have your health.
Yeah, I forgot
And your
about
MP.
It. Yeah, I knew the MP part, but I
That's why I'm not worrying about my health at all. It's standard mode. If I die, it's because I'm a stupid idiot.
Yeah.
Not because
Waiting for that to happen now.
I mean, it will certainly happen. A lot of people don't like the attraction system because they feel like it's just press triangle to win, which was also a criticism of 2 in reaction commands. And I blame the Kingdom Hearts community for how hard critical mode is, because I feel like Nomura saw everybody complain that this game is too easy, so he literally made critical mode as hard as he possibly could.
He's like, all right,
just to tell people to go fuck themselves.
Oh, you think it's too easy? I'm so sorry. Let me fix that.
A lot of what I'm doing right now is just muscle memory, by the way, because I've beaten this game so often. A lot of this exploration. A lot of, getting lucky emblems and, clearing out chests is a lot like that, because, me clearing out chests at this point, I don't actually know where any of the chests are. If you gave me a map of this world, and you were like, mark where all the chests are, I probably would have to, literally sit down and play through it in my head to figure it out.
So these assholes are annoying.
Because you can't attack their back. You can attack it with magic, like I just did.
And then they travel underground when you can't really hit them.
Yeah. And then one of the problems with this... So, the standard Keyblade can be really good, especially... So, in Kingdom Hearts 2, you keep the Kingdom Key for basically half the game because it has damage control when you play in critical mode.
What's that giant sand thing that just came out of the middle?
That's one of its abilities.
Oh, that's cool.
It's more like a totally different enemy.
Yeah. So, if given enough time, the giant... these assholes will do that.
Yeah, and they only summon one.
Not true. Oh, well, individually they do, but that's not the only one that can show up on screen.
Yeah. It's
That
kind
happens
of
a lot in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, but in Pirates of the Caribbean, at that point, you have so much to take care of them. Like, even more.
Non-critical.
So, like, that kind of sucks that happened there and not.
So one of the nice things is, you know how we like yeet Goofy? Mm-hmm. You can yeet it into its mouth and one hits it.
Yeah.
And it has its own animation for exploding.
Good. I was like, I need Herc's
Are you gonna
ability.
get yeeted?
I'm gonna get yeeted at the end of this.
Yeah, so each character that joins you has their own kind of...
Yeah.
Except for in Toy Story, when they both have the same one.
Yeah. Toy Story is really cool the first time you play it. It kind of... Toy Story has a really interesting setup for, like, a Kingdom Hearts world, in that, like, the toy store in and of itself is really cool, and you're going to see that depending on how long we play. I mean, I'm not going to dictate when we stop, but we're going to definitely stop this video.
We'll see when my wife decides she wants to see me again.
Oh, yeah. She can wait.
She'll be fine.
Yeah.
And he leaves.
Pegasus! Yes! So I've been playing Terraria for like the last 5 or 6 days.
Yeah.
And I got the unicorn mount right away when I went into hard mode, and I was so happy.
Nice.
We're just chilling around, flying around on unicorns.
But a Pegasus and a unicorn are not the
They're
same.
very different things, but that's just what we think of.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make conversation.
I
I'm not
know
good
what
at
you're
this.
saying. It's just they're not the same thing.
They're not. One's a winged horse. One is a horse with a spike on its face.
Yeah. Pegasus were made by Poseidon, the god of the sea.
I always hear this thing that's like, people don't believe that unicorns could have existed in real life. What's more, or like, what seems more practical for evolution? A horse with a
Horn or
horn,
or horse with wings.
or a horse that has a 30-foot neck and eats the top leaves of trees?
Oh, man. That sounds like a mystical, made-up creature.
Yeah. What makes more
Mythical
sense?
giraffe.
A giraffe or a unicorn? I think a unicorn makes more sense. I think they existed. And we probably hunted them to extinction because humans are shit.
So yeah,
All
nothing
right.
actually happened while you went to the bathroom.
Yeah, I know. That's why I picked that cutscene, because it's kind of long.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Welcome
I
back.
often like the idea that... So, I'm not going to pause to explain this. In 2, Hercules tells us that he's going to go talk to his dad to get us a mystical god amulet.
And then they never think
And,
anything of
and
it.
then in this game, when he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm related to the gods, the guys, they're just like, oh my god, your dad's Zeus? Even though he pretty much directly tells us that in the
They
second
also
game.
don't know who Zeus is, because that's not mythology in their worlds.
Yeah.
Fair, yeah. They don't have to learn history about
My
other
family's
worlds.
up there. They're gods. You're a god? Yeah, that's why I gave you that thing that only the gods have in the second game.
Like, they know Hades is a god, so they know the concept of gods.
Yeah.
I
They're just
explained
like,
this to you.
Yeah, but it's like somehow...
even in 1, they're like, oh, he's going to visit his dad. And I think they, like, mentioned, like, on Olympus
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, like I think it's 2 is where they mention he's going to go meet his dad on Olympus or something. But yeah, somehow this is a revelation. That is not very good what I'm drinking right now. I'm going to drink it anyway.
The purple one?
Yeah. It's not very good.
Is that the one you were telling me about?
No, it's totally different.
Oh,
You can try this,
I'm good.
Let's see.
and you can tell me what you think it tastes like, because I have no idea, but it's not good. Like it's vaguely familiar, but I don't know what it's supposed to be.
Tastes like-
Oh, like a fruit rubber.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what it
fair.
tastes like.
That is not good.
But as like a drink, I don't want a fruit rubber taste. It's not like good fruit rubber, like a fruit by the foot or like a fruit roll up. It's bad fruit rubber, like the shit that your mom would buy you because she wants you to be healthy.
It kind of tastes like, have you ever had the purple emergency?
Oh yeah, that too. Like
That's
it's
exactly
it's
what it
not
tastes
very
like.
good.
It's not good at all. Wow.
Oh, you're...
There's one that's like a grape, and it's not.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's real rough.
Yeah. So basically, the way this boss fight works is we kill his feet,
And then you run up to his head.
and then we run up to his head. We beat the shit out of that for a bit, and then we get an attraction command that basically lets us win.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Which one's that?
That will be the train one, which I
Oh,
think
one of
this
the
is like
two
the
times you
only
use the
fight
train.
that we use the train on until the very, like, almost the end of the game. Unless I'm forgetting one.
So do you just have to be in a specific area for them to activate?
So you see how like there's a bunch of enemies that like get this small green ring around them.
Yeah.
That means that,
That
if you hit
when
them,
you
get
you
it.
hit that
Oh, okay.
hitbox, you unlock an attraction command. I realize that's not exactly very super clear if you're not playing the game. So thank you for asking that question.
Yeah.
So, I never noticed this until, like, I don't know, when I was, like, 14, but his jaw is a fist.
So now we're
Little
going to
four-finger
use
fist.
this thing called Mountain Coaster.
Oh my god.
Which also shoots explosions in the
How
form
fun is that?
of fireworks.
And we get to use this for a while.
This is teaching kids that fireworks really do kill you.
Yeah.
And giant rock monsters.
Yeah.
And giant rock monsters. They kill whatever they want.
And then we do this and we avoid taking damage and we do a bunch of damage. And basically because I have auto finish on, I basically just hold R2 and target his heads until the finish happens, and the finish will probably kill him. That's a really cool shot. I actually really like the end of this boss fight because it's very cinematic.
Good work, guys.
Even if it's not all that challenging.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't be too bad because it is the first boss.
I mean, it's not. Darkseid is.
Okay,
But,
the first boss that you have some more vague idea of what's supposed to be happening.
yeah, I mean, it's to kind of bring you to this idea that in this game, boss fights end up being a lot more
Cinematic.
Actually, boss fights are really fun in this game. There's a lot of other boss fights in other Kingdom Hearts games that are basically you just wail on them.
I don't know. I'm still kind of disappointed with.
Yeah, see, we beat the boss with the finisher because it basically takes away a bar of its health.
Yeah, I was gonna say when it had that whole second phase, that was surprising.
I'm still kind of upset about the Davy Jones fight.
Oh yeah,
It
the
was-
Davy Jones fight's awful. It's stupid.
I mean, I love the Pirates of the Caribbean world, but the Davy Jones fight's just not that good.
yeah.
Like, for that level of, like, what the world's strength is, you're like, I expected more of you.
Is it even easy in critical mode?
Yeah.
Davy Jones is exactly what I was talking about. It's just it's Captain
Yeah.
Hook 2.0 basically.
No. Because
Oh.
Captain Hook threw explosives
I was
at
about
you.
to say because Captain Hook is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of
this
those
is a
guys.
kind of a cool fight that never gets revisited. Like cool concept for a fight that never gets revisited.
Yeah, it's
Did
very
they fight you in
annoying.
waves?
No, it's like they have like this
Oh,
armor
shit.
thing.
It's a stampede.
So we have to beat these things armor down, which basically amounts to waiting for Goofy to give us
Or Rage Form.
or Rage Form.
Rage Form's always fun.
So Rage Form, if my health gets super low,
It's like a save me, but the problem is you can't use magic or leave from Rage Form.
yeah,
very easily.
and like
But somehow you did now.
I got out of it because of Flare Force.
Oh. And critical, I don't think that works.
I think it
no,
does.
super weak.
No, it just never worked for me then.
Well,
that's why they have
and so
armor.
like we beat the armor, so now they aren't like a single unit.
That's fun.
Yeah, they're no longer a stampede.
And
Now they're kind of a joke.
Now we unlock Shot Lock.
There is a harder version of them that comes in at the end of
Oh,
the game.
good.
Yeah, but like I said, there's a lot of things that are like to finish my thought on Nomura because I realized I never got back there. Is that basically Nomura? He's the director of these games, right?
Oh,
So he's
yeah.
like in charge of these things. He is not like a writer or like a game developer by trade. He was a character designer by trade. So if people are always like, why does it seem like these games like often have like a lot of really cool ideas, but like never really
Expand upon them.
finish them up in a really strong way, or why the story always seems to like retcon itself? It's basically because the guy in charge of it like isn't somebody who would traditionally be in charge of this kind of thing, or had the traditional. What I won't say that he didn't have the traditional career path. So like, that's also why there's not a whole lot of characters who aren't from Final Fantasy 7 or 9.
Yeah.
It's because those are the ones that he helped character design, and all the rest of them he doesn't care about.
In the first game, there's some 10 characters.
Yeah,
But-
there's a reason why they're little kids.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't say that, just because but like those are the characters he knows really well and he designed, so it makes sense that those are the ones he's going to include in the
Oh,
game,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, we're going to free all these gods.
You're gonna free the 3 gods they decided to put in.
Yeah, which I think
Ares, Athena, and Hermes.
yeah.
Pretty good ones. Hopefully they do something.
They don't.
They don't. It's completely worthless. And
Two
would
of
have
them
made
are actual battle gods.
So glad we
literally the last, like, they could have just moved that sequence in editing over to the next cutscene that happens, and it would make more sense.
instead of them just like, oh, thank you so much for freeing
We're
me.
gonna
I'm
go?
gonna go.
Yeah, like, we're not going to help at all. in
You
this,
guys
like,
got this.
very important fight.
Yeah, I know Zeus is still trapped up there, but yeah, let's forget that.
Yeah. Speaking of Zeus being trapped, I'm
He
going to run up to the top of this rock pile that Zeus is in.
And uses
Untrap him real quick.
use-
Oh,
uses
great.
trap-
That was really fun.
uses oh god uses trapped body as a
So those were two
springboard.
status effects.
One of them is fire, one is frozen.
One was burning and one was the freezing effect. And as you can see, it was super important that we be able to get rid of that effect.
I do really like this music score for this.
Yeah,
for
this-
these fights.
This fight's really not great because, like, what you're supposed to do is, like, when he does that little, like, fire run attack, like, when he did that attack where, like, one breathes fire and then, like, one... Okay, this fight's going a little south on me already. Like, one breathes fire and the other breathes ice. Like, you're supposed to be on top of the platform, and so they use it on the other one. That's just gonna speed up the fire a little.
But they do make it better with the fight that's after this.
Yeah. Oh, did I never... Okay.
You never got any items in your
I
inventory.
never put items in my inventory. That's going to be an issue.
Well, if you die, you can just replay the game real fast. Sir.
Yeah. Normally I had to have I'd have actually I'd actually, like, equipped potions or something.
You know,
Apparently I decided not to do that.
can you do that during the fights?
Nope.
Nice.
Storm Boy is back.
Okay, Zeus back.
So hopefully, I don't think Donald has cure, does he? Oh, he does.
Oh,
Never mind.
somebody has cure.
That or
It was
Hercules
probably
uses-
Herc.
So what happens is characters have that you like aren't part of your immediate team have set
Somebody is
potions.
blowing up my phone right now with text messages that I'm
Is it
ignoring.
your sister still pissed at you for not going to the store?
Oh yeah, my sister hates going to the grocery store, so she asked me to do it, and I told her to fuck off about it.
I hate going to the store too.
Yeah, well, to my sister, it's like the equivalent of, I don't know,
So I think
waterboarding or something.
oh,
There we go.
Magic Carousel, which is not a very
It's super useful in this fight.
it is, but for the most part, it's not too great.
I mean, the most useful part about it is that it's, there we go.
I think you still take damage though.
Yeah, but anytime they're about to...
Well,
No idea what's happening right now.
everything.
Okay, so basically you have to fight those two titans simultaneously, and it's a huge pain in the ass. And that's the part that's going to kill you every time in critical mode, because you're fighting two bosses at once.
And then here comes Wind
And then you
Boy.
fight this guy. And the fun thing is if you continue, like, this is its own separate fight, so if you've used items in the last fight, when you continue, you won't have used them again.
Oh.
But he's really not all that hard.
he
Other
sa-
than,
he
I'd
says
say,
he gets hit.
I mean, that's only because I didn't block. I was trying to get closer.
Yeah, he takes pretty good damage.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is that problems. He will switch the kind of attacks he does.
Yeah.
So at some point soon, he'll be flying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one has 4 parts to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do, like, a lot of damage in the next part.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, and right there.
He should be just about ready to switch up.
Yeah, it should be happening. Yep.
There it is.
So, like, in this part, he's gonna, like, do a bunch of attack. So, like, here's the only So, like, I'll do a bunch of damage with this part. Which is what he was talking about, where this is the only time where the dive attack makes sense. This is just like a bullet time battle. Right, so
Yeah,
it's like you do a ton of damage there, then he does this, and then basically all you do is
you shift forward to get close to him.
you shift forward to whatever one is blinking, and you avoid whatever attack he's doing, and then you just wail on his face. And he doesn't really have any attack, so it's really not
he's
that
just saying
bad.
they're getting sad.
He's just sad.
The only thing that sucks is I don't have allies, so
There's no healing if you do get.
yeah, if I do get hit, there's no healing.
You start screwing up real bad.
But the good news is that he really doesn't do anything in a normal mode.
He will do this though, where he'll go over to a different guy and use their abilities.
Right, so he's gonna like use ice, but if you just go to the one that's glowing, you're always out of.
Well, that was kind of useless towards the end there.
And you don't really need focus to be able to do that, or you can't use shot lock commands. So like shot lock takes that orange bar there called focus
Oh, okay.
to actually like use it, but you can always just like go into shot, and then you get this.
Which makes kind of some
Yeah,
sense.
'cause you don't really take damage, and you just wail on his face. Like I said, this is the easy part of the boss fight. The hard part. Okay, that was
Is-
great
is-
that didn't auto finish again.
Are you sure you have it set for auto finish?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I set it up, and I've been doing it every other time. I mean, I can check again. I'm pretty much 100% sure, which means inevitably I turned it off at some point.
Yeah. Especially when you're 100% sure.
So you can be hit more with the fire one because that one it goes up instead of out
Yeah.
in terms of attack. So that one we will actually hit you.
Yeah, but
It didn't do that to
the
the very
tornado
end.
bot, the air titan, I guess it is. It's really not that bad. The other two are kind of a pain in the ass. The rock titan is easy. It's mostly the fact that you're fighting two bosses at once. So it's like when you're focusing on one, the other one's attacking you,
I do.
and
like
you
how-
don't really have a good way of dealing with that problem
Yeah.
until later in the game. Later in the game, you fight multiple. Okay, I shouldn't say that. Later in the game, you do fight multiple bosses at once, but they don't really have a huge amount of health.
Yeah.
So what?
And there's like, and you have like a 50 extra strength basically from all of your stuff.
So I like how Hercules is just like, I can make it 5 now.
Now I can do that.
When I could have just saved Dad whenever.
Also, those other three. Also, just because he has his arms free, now he's suddenly able to do what he needed to do.
I know.
Whereas before, when they were slowly encasing him in magma, he wasn't able to do this.
He's like, oh no.
And now they're really.
now that now that Zeus is able to single-handedly defeat all the Titans.
I know. Now they're just like, oh shit.
They're also like, yeah.
Oh, that one's covered hits on their head. How sad.
They weren't freaking out beforehand when they actually captured Zeus.
Yeah, but then it's like you free him, and then it's like all of a sudden now Zeus is so much more powerful. And they don't really explain that at all.
Well, they've also just got the shit beat out of them.
Yeah.
So they're probably at this point like, okay, maybe we can't take Zeus again.
Well, all 4 of them were there that time. Beforehand, it was
Ooh,
just
okay.
it was just 3 of them.
They're dead.
Yeah, just some casual murder.
Yeah. Which is this? What
'Cause
kind of
very clearly,
consequences
though,
on the Greek?
Because very clearly those creatures have intelligence, so I'm pretty sure that qualifies as
Yeah,
murder.
that was just straight up murder.
Sometimes you
So like in the first game, Light and Darkness is just like a metaphor for good and evil, for like love and not love,
Yeah.
or like good and evil. It's just like a really simple metaphor. And then like in all the other Kingdom Hearts games, they've slowly like these things have become like significantly more important, not MacGuffin forces. This is from Birth by Sleep, by the way.
So in Birth by Sleep,
That's
like,
why its resolution was really shitty.
darkness is like the thing that like consumes all. So like all the light people like we need to destroy all darkness.
Yeah,
And then Xehanort's like, no, there needs to be a balance.
yeah.
Which
And then
leads to-
Xehanort's like, and by balance I mean there can be only darkness.
Yeah.
So Xehanort's like kind of talking out both sides of his mouth in that game. He's like, we need to be balanced between the light and the dark. And by that I mean, I'm going to fully embrace darkness.
By that I mean, screw you.
And I'm going to destroy everything to recreate everything.
So it's kind of like the light side and the dark side of the Force,
That's
where like
exactly what I
it
was
doesn't mean anything at this point, except for like they've made the metaphor physical. Like, imagine the light side and the dark side of the Force, where they don't really mean anything other than, like, good versus bad. But
at least in 2,
but
they, like,
the dark side of the Force also is its own dimension.
I know, right?
Whereas the light side is, like, a bunch of other different... So, the other thing is, like, are the other Disney worlds different dimensions? Or are they, like, actual physical planets?
Mm-hmm.
I like to think they're planets.
Yeah.
Because, like...
Probably.
Even though
But
I know you didn't like it, but
then, like, the gummy ship missions are, like...
space.
they're like, it's our gummy ship that travels between worlds. And then, like... But then, like, in Birth by Sleep, they're like, I'll open up the interdimensional highways of darkness to travel between worlds.
You just gotta wear your armor.
So it's like, how are they separated? And then, like, the entire point of 2 is you're, like, supposed to close the door. You're supposed to open the doorways between worlds. And it's like, what? Are they're just planets? How are there doorways between them?
And then in Birth by Sleep, I know you don't like it, but the what's it called? The space one?
Oh yeah, Stitches.
Yeah,
World?
Stitches World,
It's
where
fucking
you're like
stupid.
flying through space, and then
You're on a spaceship that's also like the spaceship in Stitches World. That Stitch then goes to Hawaii.
yeah.
So it's like, is the implication that Stitch and those aliens travel between worlds that are also Disney worlds, or is the implication that like it takes place in its own separate dimension that is also space?
What you didn't know is that Hawaii is actually just Stitch's planet.
Be
Yeah.
careful.
Um,
Even the least threatening Heartless.
Yeah.
the Stitch World is not very good, or like it's fine, but it's not very good in like the way it used its source material.
Yeah.
So this is the Demon Tower. This is the actual boss fight that we have to do. I have this one fight.
And
Then basically we have a bunch of other cutscenes, and then we get shot out.
But after this, we'll end this episode.
Well, we'll probably go through the rest of the cutscenes, and then we'll end the gummy ship. Whether or not that's where the next episode starts or not is...
Doesn't Riku only have 2 magic attacks? It's like Dark Fire and like Dark Lightning.
So like,
And I think Cure,
as
maybe?
long as the tower... So like, see how the tower's eye color just changed? That tells you to get the hell away from it.
Oh.
Also,
Yeah, she has
also
Kiraga
time-
and Fundaga, and it's on Kiraga's on triangle, which makes no sense.
That's weird, yeah. Even I'm saying that's weird, and I use square.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not right.
So like the reason you put it on X is that it's the fastest button to use. Is that like you're attacking, you just hold L1 and you can then cure.
See, I do square because I'm usually still attacking when I'm like, oh shit, I need to do this while still doing shit, so... It makes more sense because it's not the attack button, but triangle is like both at the same time.
I don't understand your argument. To me, like Kiraga needs to be the thing that you can use the quickest. So it's like you should be mashing X in like terms of your attack, and then you just hold L1 and you can cure yourself. It's bizarre to me that you put it on square. I'm gonna be cure on X gang till the day I die.
Or until you switch it over to me.
Hey, if you're watching this and you've played Kingdom Hearts, comment below what button you put cure on, and if it's not X, explain yourself.
Alright.
And Keegan will still not read the comment.
Yeah.
Just for you guys, I'm gonna put it on Y when I play.
Wait, there is no
No,
Y.
there's no Y
there's
on a
no
place.
Y.
You're gonna put it on
sorry,
triangle?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I'm an Xbox player. What's up?
The best part is like when you play on the Switch and A and B and X and Y are flipped, and that's
So,
because
wait.
Xbox was super lazy and just copied the buttons.
So let me cut you off real fast, because this is another weird thing with darkness, how it's like
Yes.
water.
So like darkness, so like the dark world is the embodiment of darkness, but when they go into this water, they're in even more darkness.
It's like advanced darkness.
Advanced.
And so like right now, Riku is talking to past Riku.
No, he's speaking to replica Riku.
Yeah.
Is that what it? But then, like, he speaks to Replica Riku, and then he leaves his broken Keyblade, which I think is for past Riku.
Which is not understood.
Time in this game is fucking weird.
Yeah, so time, they just
Apparently,
say, fuck it with
also,
time.
like, the World of Darkness doesn't operate on, like, strict time.
Okay, so they kind of explained that in
So, like,
Raindrop
chapter...
Distance.
So, also, like, in chapter... In 2.8... 2.8, you interact with Mickey for the end of the first game, and then it ends with you meeting Ansem on the beach.
Yeah.
And then in this game, Aqua just got sent into even darker darkness before Riku and Mickey just got onto this beach
Yeah.
with Ansem, where Ansem is also, he's there for Kingdom Hearts 2, and he's only in there for Kingdom Hearts 2, between like 1 and 2. So then he leaves
Thanks for the new
there.
gear.
So Ansem has left,
But
and
your
like
Keyblade.
Ansem doesn't leave the realm of darkness until like halfway through 2 or something like that. It's fucking
This
weird.
is also not explained because never before has a Keyblade been broken. Even in
Yeah.
like the Keyblade graveyard, none of them are broken.
Yeah.
They're just like left there.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, my Keyblade's broken. I'm just gonna like leave it here, even though Keyblades are magic items that automatically return to your hand
And are reformed.
and are reformed. So he leaves this broken one here for past Riku, who's the angsty Riku, who's infected by darkness.
Still
Yep.
down here alone.
So yeah, time
remember
is
Angsty
Enemies
Riku.
like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
So they kind of tried to explain time.
who's
for the-
only trapped. To be clear, is only trapped here
As I felt
at the end of the first
time I
game,
came
which
here.
happens at the end of Final Chapter 2.8,
How
which
long
this
are we
is
supposed to
after.
keep her waiting in this awful
As
place?
evidenced by the fact that Aqua's not on the beach, but he's leaving the Keyblade now for him already trapped in the realm of darkness.
So another thing that happens is Xehanort is a time traveler, and that's how.
Apparently. It's bizarre
I like how
what's
they
happening in the
made-
timeline.
I like how they made this, but you never actually like
Yes,
explore
you
the
never
mysterious
show
tower.
up in the Mysterious Tower. It's literally just for like this cutscene and another one.
They
What?
did put in
The end of this
trailer-
game actually has like really, really cool cutscenes. Like it's like 30 minutes of cutscenes, but they're actually like really cool and like.
and like lead to like bigger plot holes that hopefully
No,
are
no,
filled
well,
before.
you like it's like as soon as you save Aqua, you're subject to like another boss fight and then 30 minutes of cutscenes. But the cutscenes are actually really cool if you've played the other games because you're like, oh man, this is awesome. You
This
get to see all these like
explains everything.
you actually get to see all these characters like that I like enjoy and like want to see be happy like together and then like except for a couple who are resolved at the end of the game. Those are really cool moments.
I like how they're like, oh, maybe your power's just locked instead of like Xehanort like used it to reform himself.
Yeah.
Wait, you think so too?
And they never really explain what the power of waking does. They're just like, you need the power of waking. And it's like, okay, why? And they're like, you need the power of waking. Okay, but what does it do? It's the power of waking.
It's like the mitochondria meme where it's like, how do I do taxes? The mitochondria, this is the powerhouse of the cell.
Yeah.
How do I get a job? Power!
Yeah, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
You got new duds that are plaid.
Yeah, and so Sora's super upset that he doesn't get his new clothes.
He doesn't get plaid.
Everybody, like they show up and they're like, we need to go visit Lee and Kyrie, so we're gonna take them their new clothes. And then like Sora's like, do I not get new clothes? And like,
it's like,
apparently, and Donald and Goofy are like totally fine. Supposedly, these clothes are supposed to like help them protect against the power of
Yeah.
darkness.
Hey, Donald and Goofy have their zippers and pockets.
So it's really funny. And then like this game, your entire like you're trying to gather the 13, I think it is, the 7 warriors of light,
And
right?
they end up having like 12.
Yeah, you end up having 12, but that's because 3 of them don't really count. Even though one of them counts because he is a warrior of light, but he's also not.
Yeah.
And then one doesn't count because they just don't count him.
And then there's Donald and Goofy, who are
And then
like
Donald and Goofy,
are
who,
warriors, but they don't use keyblades.
but they don't get the fun thing of being the warriors of light. And then Kyrie gets to be a warrior of light, but she doesn't do anything except die.
Yes, she does. And then she comes back.
Supposedly in the final cutscene, which doesn't make any sense.
What the hell?
Which is why we're waiting for Remind to
Yeah.
hopefully figure this shit out.
So what I'm saying is that this game's this game is really stupid in its third act.
But we love it anyways.
Now we get shoved out into the gummy missions, which actually are like fun in this game.
Yeah. Because they made it in a whole open
Because it's
world.
basically just an open world space shooter.
Which
This game has
still-
some like really interesting gameplay ideas where like there's several sections of this game where it's like it's a completely different game.
They still also never talk about whether our earlier conversation, if it's a different dimension or if it's
Yeah,
different
like
worlds.
is this space or what's like very clearly in this game the support is that like we're in space. But in all the other games it's like very unambiguous about what's going on.
You just found a meteorite
But-
belt for this.
That's going to be the end of this video.
Woo! First one
Finally.
Shit.
And I have no idea how long the video is that you guys have been watching. Hopefully it's not been 2.5 hours like it has been for us.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. How are you liking it so far, Will?
I don't really know what's going on, but I'm learning bit by bit every second or so.
Well, you're also getting me and Keegan's awful explanation of what
I don't
we think
I don't
happened.
think
No,
they're
that's the best
awful
part.
explanations. I think they're
Okay, sorry.
adequate
Let me
explanations.
rephrase that. Very confusing explanations of stuff we are also somewhat iffy on.
Yeah, because it's also not very clear in the games themselves.
Explaining things that you don't think are going to be immediately retconned.
Yeah.
But
But there's a good chance they might.
we had a lot of fun recording this, I think, so we're probably going to do more of them. We may not beat the game by the time Remind comes out.
We might at least get to the point where we know Remind is going to change stuff.
We'll find out if Will's there.
If Will's there.
Yeah, and so be on the lookout for that Remind video whenever that happens. So if you like this video, like the video, and please go check out our channel and do the sharing and subscribing. And
Hit whatever
telling
video
friends,
is up in the corner of this video now.
Yeah, and if you want more of our videos, hit the bell icon. I think that's how that works.
They gotta
Pretty
subscribe
sure,
first.
Yeah, and
You click
comment.
subscribe, and there's a
Comment.
little thing that pops up.
Tell us everything you know about Kingdom
Tell
Hearts
we
3.
gave you prompts.
Tell us where you put your potions.
Yeah, tell us how bad we are. Tell us how we don't understand the lore. All of that. I want to hear all of it.
I
because
want you in the thing. Explain Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts to us.
And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.